What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the main channel. And today we are going to be talking about one of the games that I've been pretty much very anticipated and very looking forward to, and that is Astral Chain. So Astral Chain has just come out a day ago. It's really good. I'm really enjoying my experience to it, and this is not really a review but my first thoughts and impressions about it. This might change down the line, so just keep that in mind. And this is just kind of telling you whether it's been 4 or 5 hours of my gameplay. Should you play this game, or do I feel like this is a good game for you? So let's go ahead and start it and talk about the story, because I think this is kind of one of the biggest selling points of the game itself. So Astral Chain takes place in a futuristic style. They are getting invaded by these creatures from another dimension called chimeras. Chimeras are extremely vicious and really strong. They are evil. They're not visible to the naked eye. You have to be a specific type of person to be able to fight them and see them, so there's not a lot of people out there that is able to see them. Your main protagonist is actually one of the two siblings that you get to play as. Whether it's a male or a female, they're twins, and they are pretty much the same on that aspect right there. The story doesn't, I don't feel like it really changes based one or the other, but one of the biggest things is once the story itself just starts running, the main character, you have to choose your character, you make your character how you want to look at it and everything, and you start your adventure there. You get recruited in this task force that fights chimeras, and you have the talent or the power to be able to control the legions. Legions are basically controlled chimeras. They are chained to you in a sense with the astral chain, so to speak. That's what they call it. And this chain is basically able to manipulate them for you to be able to use them to fight the chimeras. So it's really interesting, and there are many different uses for the legions, and you get to learn about how to use them or how to control them over the process of the game and everything. So it's pretty cool in that sense. So the story just goes from there up. You have adventures, you get sent into missions to fight these chimeras, and while you're doing that, you're actually uncovering some mysteries, which is kind of like the biggest plot on the story of Astral Chain. So overall, I think this is a really good story, and I really like all the different characters that you meet so far. They have different stories about themselves, and you get to learn about them over time, and you get to know about you and pretty much what's going on about the world and everything. So I think the story is pretty well. It's something that from what I would see from Platinum games, they're really good storytellers as well as really good at the gameplay. But one of the things that I don't like about this game particularly, that it just gripes in a sense, is it's just that the main character does not speak or show expression when it's needed to. At any point, I don't have issues with games that have silent protagonists, where the protagonist just doesn't talk a lot or the voice is not out there. But for example, in Persona, your character doesn't really talk, but you're able to choose conversation and reply to them and everything. That is not the case in this game. In this game, the main character basically just doesn't reply for anything. You are being told to do something, and if he's just saying something, your character is just limited to doing this and moving on to whatever the task is. And that's fine for situations like this, but there are a lot of situations within the story itself which requires you to care about the story, about the characters, about what's going on. Characters that you spend hours with to get hurt, your own sibling at some point is falling off the floor or whatever, you save them or something. But in these heart-wrenching moments where you're supposed to be feeling things, your own character does not react to it. It doesn't say anything, it just moves on into whatever, and everybody's showing you expressions. They're sad, they're upset, and you, the protagonist, is not saying a single thing. And I don't think it really works for this game. I don't really think it does, because you are supposed to care, because it is important for you and the story itself. And when your character is not showing that you care, it's really hard for you as the player to care as well. So I don't think it really works whatsoever. This was a terrible shot to be called, and this is an odd shot to call as well, because games like Bayonetta, that is being worked on by Platinum games haven't had this problem before. There's a lot of games that have been made that have protagonists that talk a lot. They have a personality to him, and this particular character does not have a personality. It just is just a person that is doing things within the story, and I think this is really hard to kind of get involved with. That being said, while your character doesn't say a lot, your sibling, your twin, talks a lot, and they do pretty much all the talking, all of the expression, all of the things that you're supposed to be saying. Your twin will say them for you or through you throughout the story. So I don't like this way of storytelling. I think it's pretty lazy storytelling, and it just grabs me. Even though I really enjoyed the game so far and the story, I do not like the way that it's handled being the main character. It's just not, in a way, I'm not able to connect with the character itself. And when there are characters but you're supposed to kind of just feel for things and you're not able to feel it, it just doesn't work for me. So the gameplay, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the things that Platinum is really well known for, and the gameplay here is as good as you expect from Platinum games. You have your hacks and slash, you have your shooting mechanics, you have pretty much everything that you will expect from that, but with a specific new style to it, and that is you are attached through a chain to this other being called the Legion, as I mentioned before. The Legion is able to allow you to fight these massive monsters. Some of them are pretty big, some of them as small as you are, and you're able to use the Legion to fight the monsters alongside with you. You're able to do all kinds of crazy things, like you can chain them together to the floor and that kind of stuff like that. So there's a lot of different stuff that you can use the Legion for, and it's pretty useful. I think once you get down to it, you really enjoy the experience of kind of just playing the Legion or everything like that, and it's pretty good. I really enjoyed it once you get hang of it, because it's not as easy as the game just to pick up, but at times I can feel that this game can feel a bit of button smashy, but more than other games like my Bayonetta. I feel like this game does just have a little bit extra that don't feel good on these particular games. So do I think that this is a good game? I do think this is a good game. I think all the characters are very likable and you can just get to know them and everything like that. The story, there's some really good moments in the story that just makes you feel for it and everything. Other than the main character, I really don't have issues with the story or the gameplay and things like that. I'm really enjoying my experience with this game so far, and I do encourage you that if you are interested in this game, you should definitely go ahead and you can check it out and play it. It is a fun game. It is an excellent game for you to get played and everything. If you like Platinum games, you're definitely gonna enjoy this one. It looks really, really good. It has specific style to it, something that you would expect from games like Platinum, but it fits well for the Switch, and the performance of the Switch is really good. I never had any problems with frames dropping or anything like that, so definitely enjoying the experience there so far. Everything about it is just good, and it looks good, so you should definitely check this out. That is pretty much it for today, guys. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing, but I'll see you next time.